If I can say anything with fucking certainty, it's that my legs are destroyed from last leg day. In a in being last night. In a fucking good way. Yeah, so that's I don't want to turn this into a leg training video talk, but yeah, the basic approach was nasty leg extensions first, two sets of fucking gnarly ass Smith machine squats second, and then four sets of machine leg press, which those machine leg press sets were not as heavy. Like that was not as much weight as the squats, even by like a fucking mile. But just by pumping out like 15 reps, and the fact that it kind of got heavy at the bottom, dude. Oh, that extra quad volume, I'm feeling it. I am feeling it, and I think that's gonna give me some extra quad beef. Now, how that plays into today, who's to say that my system is not potentially a little bit extra taxed? Because that was a really nasty leg day, in a sense, out of nowhere. Because 2 leg days ago, I did quads only. Now it's still went pretty hard, but not as hard as this one. This should be the bar for my leg days, honestly, at least. But my legs are sore. Like you wouldn't. Even just like sitting here flexing them right now, like barely, they're burning. But does that mean I should skip the gym today? That's not rhetorical. Maybe it does, honestly. Like, what do you think would actually be better? Like, should I today, since my legs are insanely tired, should I just stay home and rest and eat my food and chill and grow, or should I stimulate my chest and then go home, chill, eat and grow? That's at least as far as I'm concerned, no matter how sore an individual muscle is, that typically isn't going to stop me from coming in to train a separate muscle. Because apart from like any potential central nervous system fatigue, which I'm not even particularly too crazy worried about, given that I never do below 3 reps. Like I never have to send signals that intensely. I think. Uh, sure, my legs are sore. Like you would not catch me try to grab rim right now. I wouldn't be able to jump that high, and my legs would probably buckle in the process. But my chest is not sore. My chest is not sore. Honestly, my chest is already fucking itching to get pumped up in this hammer strength chest press, cable flies, and pec deck, and whatever else I decide on. So I don't think I guess it's not. It's never gonna hurt you. It's not gonna hurt you to take an off day after you just had a really crazy badass baller workout. But maybe I'm just a gym addict, which I think maybe might be putting it a little bit lightly. But as long as the targeted muscle you're aiming for is not sore, I think you're fine. You know, I would not want to do chest if my fucking if my chest was sore. If my chest felt like how my quads is right now, then I would skip it. And I've done that before. The reason I only did quads on my last leg day was my hamstrings were still sore from the hamstring workout I did 4 days or 3 days prior. But as long as whatever targeted muscle group you're about to train is not sore, I think smack it around. And that's a little bit easier for me to say right now because I'm bulking up. I have a crazy amount of fucking food in my system. Energy is literally fucking flowing out of me in a surplus. I'm kind of at my most tough state as a lifter, right? But if you're dieting down, things can get a little bit funkier. I usually would say don't change your workouts too much from bulking up to dieting, and I mean I barely do. Like the volume might change a little bit, but that's just because I feel like the workout is finished a little bit earlier when I'm dieted. But one thing I do change is when I'm dieting down, I typically, and sometimes I still do this, but for the most part, I try to back off on any crazy heavy, like pressing work for legs. And the reason being is it's just so taxing on your system, Like a set of squats, your lower back is firing, your glutes are firing little, as much as I try to subvert them by raising my heels on plates and squatting in very upright fashion. I can't get around the glute activation. My whole system is just fucking stressed because every time I take a big breath and brace, it's taking energy away from me. You know, it's like something like squats. It's very heavy movement. It's very fucking intense and demanding lift. And if I'm dieting down, I don't want to deal with that extra stress on my whole fucking system because all I'm aiming for is my quads. So, not not being too direct with any idea here on the way to the gym, but if I had to sum up what I'm trying to say, if you're not dying, I think go. I think go. You know, because if you look at the extremes, and of course, with every time I kind of bring this up, usually a middle ground is actually where you should be. But you can, in a lot of instances, in a lot of situations, you can kind of at least, I mean, maybe you don't exactly know what you think, but if you take things to the extremes, like if you try to take two examples to the extremes, sometimes that'll show you which side you should be leaning towards, right? So in terms of your working out, let's just say kind of frequency slash dedication, if you're completely non-dedicated, you skip lifts all the time, you barely go, I don't think you're going to make very many gains. Now, if you're crazy fucking like, you know, I don't want to name any like hardcore drug just because it might like get demonetized. But if you got a serious lifting addiction to the point where you have to do 2 days every day, you know, oh fuck, I have to do my hour of cardio this morning, or I'm gonna fucking, I have to. That's probably a little too much. Also, you know, you can overdo it, of course, but somewhere probably towards that crazier guy is at least better gains. You know, it's at least better gains. So that's where, I mean, it's right to be a little crazy about it. You know, it's your thing. But you can't deny the more lifts that you do on a regular basis indefinitely, the better gains you're going to get, and over time, the more you're going to separate from just the baseline crew of guys in the gym. Not to say that this should be a rat race where you should look at everybody around you and think, "Oh, I'm bigger than that guy, fucking loser." No, dude, that is so silly. And if you think purely having bigger muscles makes you like a better person or like more valuable, I hate to burst your bubble here, but shit's a little bit deeper than that. And I know that might sound silly coming from me. I'm such a meathead, but being a little bit more concerned with your own gains. But over time, you will make them if you maybe ease up on the rest days. I know you know somebody who is they're gonna skip the gym at the drop of a hat. Oh, this is a good little back and forth interaction. What's the what's the dumbest thing that you've heard one of your friends say is an excuse not to come train? I feel like a lot of these are going to be related to leg days because people are so fucking. Well, I don't even want to get into it. This isn't leg day. This is chest day. So plan for the lift. Hammer strength chest press. I think first. I've really been fucking liking it. Real slow, real controlled, real nasty squeeze on top and a solid stretch. I mean, it's just fucking perfect. So I think a few sets of those, and then some cable work, maybe some other pressing. And I actually might not even do the hammer strength machine first. I might do. How about I warm up? How about I warm up first? Get on the cables, get my shoulders nice and mobile, and then decide. Then decide where I should go from there. So let's just hop to it. This would be a good starter. Oh my god. Let's drop to 3 plates. That's fucking heavy. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. One more. At least. Same weight. Each. Yeah. 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 Okay. Make this a rest pause set. Whew. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh. Ah. One more. One sinking more. And then move on to something else. Oh my god. Drop set it is. Oh my god. Oh. All right. Let's move on to a fly-based movement. Whatever that ends up being. Holy shit. Awesome 4-set starter though. Yeah, make some bent over cable press. Kind of like a half fly, half press kind of combination. I think that'll be perfect now. Moderate weight.
I mean, hurt. Yeah, if it don't hurt, then you're good. But I went up to one.
Oh. Yeah. 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 All right. Let's make this next one flies instead of pressing. Yeah. 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 Okay. Oh. Let's move on to something else. All right, I've got a plan, and this very well may be the finisher, I'll kind of decide once I actually do it. But single arm cable press, and I like kind of an alt, like 5 reps one side, immediately switch 5 on the other, kind of a back and forth style, like alternating superset. I mean, I like it for leg extension, I like it for curls, I like it for chest as well. So if I finish this and I feel like I'm completely fucking pumped to the brim, then that'll be my cue to go post down. But if I think I've got a little bit more space for some extra blood in here, then I'll do one more set of whatever. But let's go a little lighter. There we go. There we go. Oops. One more. Okay. Whew. Very pump focused with that one, but I think that's all she wrote, man. Let's go post down. Now that, come on. Perfect. Yeah, that was a nasty one. That was a nasty one. Reasonably heavy. I mean, 3 plates on a 25 on that hammer strength chest press is not light. That ain't lightweight by any means. But still, the set was very controlled, real hard fucking squeezing. I've been liking the squeezing focus stuff instead of just kind of the more brutal, really throw the weight around kind of stuff. Now, of course, the finisher, where I'm just kind of pumping out reps, that's its own thing. That's purely for the sake of, let's just say, pumpage. But no, nothing else to say in terms of lift commentary. Let's translate our focus towards pump-a-dormant. It's not the worst phrase ever. Yeah. These pump covers are getting gradually harder and harder to fucking remove. Doesn't help that it's fucking drenched in sweat. But let's see how we're looking. Holy shit, dude. All right, chest wrecked. Let's get in the car, go home, and get some fucking grub in my system. There we go. Not my, well, I was about to say not my most intense chest day, but maybe I'm thinking about things all wrong. I'm still meat-headed enough where I am going to take my strength on any given day into account when I think about how good how good the lift was. But, if you take that a little bit too far, you're going to stress yourself out. And what I mean by that is like, your strength's going to kind of fucking fluctuate, man. Day by day. Whoa, this guy's going to pull that in front of me a little. But, day by day, fucking your rest, your recovery, your diet, your fluid intake, everything else, it all kind of combines to your overall recovery. And in some cases, it's not always like fucking, 1-to-1. I've had lifts where I felt like everything was fucking perfect, big, strong, or no, what am I thinking? Well rested, well fed, well hydrated, well everything. And then, I actually get to the lifts, I'm like, oh, I kind of fucking feel like shit a little bit. Not like, I'm not talking like sick as a dog or anything, but like, things just didn't click as well as I would have thought that they should have based on the, how I actually prepped for the lift itself. So that's where you got to kind of understand, like, a little bit. You've got a pretty solid amount of control over your recovery, but a little bit you're just at, the mercy of the fucking universe, right? So if one day you can't do 225 for 10 like normal, you're warming up, you do 185 for 2, and you're like, holy shit, that was fucking heavy. Don't freak, man. I guess if you're a power lifter, maybe you should be freaking. Like if this is your peak week, then that would be kind of cause for concern. But any day by day strength fluctuation shouldn't really stress you out as like a muscle growing lifter. Don't be so concerned with your actual day by day strength. Now, of course, over time, as you get bigger, you should be getting stronger, and vice versa. You should try to get a little bit stronger, push the weight a touch, and kind of induce that growth manually, right? But what I'm trying to say is, like, if today I felt like I could only do like 2 plates and a 25 on that chest press as the first set, and that would be enough, then that's what I would do. And I'm sure it might hit me in the ego just a touch, but not really. Especially since I'm on kind of a lighter squeezing kick right now anyway for chest. It's like, dude, whatever. I'm not so concerned with like just how many pounds are being moved around. Really, my primary concern today was just how crazy of a fucking squeeze can I get, and how pumped up can I get my chest. And in both instances, or in both those cases, it's pretty wild, pretty fucking wild. So, don't stress it. And whatever you do not completely fucking disregard your internal warning systems, which are telling you maybe don't try to do four plates on a Smith machine squat if the most you've ever done is 3. Maybe don't try to do the 100 pounds for shoulder press if you've never gone over the 80s just because you feel kind of strong today, or because one of your friends told you to. It's I've seen it. I see it all too often, and of course I've done it too. But it's like, it's not that hard to get hurt. It's really not that fucking hard. It wouldn't be too hard for me to well, with the machine press and the cable stuff today, I didn't really do anything that freaky. But like, if you got a bar on your back, if you're holding dumbbells over your fucking face, doing incline dumbbell bench, it's one wrong move. Now, I'm not trying to scare you, of course, but like, there's a certain amount of technique involved. So don't push it too hard, in the sense of going beyond your means. Now, if it's a weight which you've warmed up, you feel strong, like, okay, I can do, like, in your mind, for real, you're not lying to yourself. Like, all right, I could probably do 225 for 8 right now. It's gonna be hard though. Get a spotter, fucking go for it, man. And even if you overestimate your strength just a little bit, if you do have a spotter with you, that's the fucking sweet spot. Have them give you some assisted reps. And then, sure, you may only have gotten 5 reps on your own. Say, okay, grab onto it, help me on these. Boom. 3 more assisted reps get you into that kind of what I would consider to be a pretty solid hypertrophy range. 8 minimum, and kind of upwards and beyond up to like 20s. I wouldn't want to do like 30 rep sets or anything wild, but like, as long as it's a good set within reason, it's going to induce some growth, I think, or at least some stimulation. I think, that'll be my last actual lifting thing, and we can talk about whatever random shit I want. But I really need there to be a clear distinction between what muscle growth is and what muscle stimulation is. And what I mean by that is, there is no workout that you can do for muscle growth. There is no workout that you can do where it's like, oh, this workout is to get me toned. Oh, this workout is to get me bulked. This workout is to give me that swimmer look, like shit like that. I see it said all the time. And anybody that knows anything about working out, they know that's just mumbo jumbo, like magazine talk. But here's what goes down in the gym, right? When I did those sets, when I just did the fucking 4 of these, 2 of these, 1 of these, when I did those 7 sets for chest today, I have not grown my chest at all. My chest has not grown a single fucking uh, you know, tenth of an ounce of muscle yet. All I have done is stimulate it. Right? It's fatigued, it's pumped, it's inflamed in a good way. It's taken some damage. Now, damage, which is very recoverable, especially with a good night's rest, a reasonable amount of fucking sleep, and then since I'm bulking up, a good amount of food to top it off. So, the distinction between gaining weight, gaining muscle, and doing a workout which you are now going to use that stimulation to gain size versus, working out and maintaining the muscle you have on your frame, like if you're trying to diet down, it's not like anything changes in the gym. You do the exact same thing. It's just how you go about everything outside of the workout, which is going to determine what kind of recovery actually occurs. So for me, since I'm going to go home and all day I've been eating a crazy amount of fucking food, big ass meals of potatoes and oats and everything else, touch of sweets there. Don't there's still going to be some sweets, don't worry, but I'd say I'm kind of rocking about a 70-30% balance of, conventionally, like, I don't even want to say total junk food, but like stuff that I wouldn't want to eat all day, to like 70% more just ground beef, eggs, oats, potatoes, cream of wheat, that kind of stuff. That's kind of my ratio, I think, just kind of by guessing. But since I'm eating a crazy amount of food, I've got a lot of calories in my system, literally more than my body can just go through on its own. So it's going to have to do something with the extra. And since I just wrecked my chest, it's like it's like if your fucking business has a surplus. Oh shit, man, we better spend this to extend the accountant building. Like, oh, let's give everybody new chairs. Let's give everybody whatever. It's like you've got more energy to spare for your recovery, so you're gonna over recover. Right? You're gonna what's the word I'm thinking? Overcompensate in a way, and in a good way, you'll gain muscle. Right? You now stress your system in a bro sciencey way. Your muscles like, holy fuck, man, what the hell just happened to me? Damn, that was a lot. I gotta beef myself up to be able to handle that again. And if you got a crazy amount of food in your system, or a reasonable amount, such that you're in an actual calorie surplus, then that's what's going to happen, right? So if I were dieting down, what would happen is I'm going to use all the energy and calories at my disposal, plus extra just from like my fat stores and my, that I've got all over the place, in between all my fucking chest striations and my skin. That's where that shit's getting stored. That's where I'm going to use the amount of energy I have for my calories, and residually some of the energy from the fat I have in my system, which is what makes you get leaner. You're burning body fat. Then I'm just going to recover enough such that the damage has been repaired, but not over repaired. You don't have the energy and the fucking resources to grow muscle, not significantly. And of course, everybody loves to say like, well, the beginner can lose fat and gain muscle at the same time. Which, I mean, yeah, very true. The beginner is a special case. For the most part, you're either not even for the most part, I'd say 95% of the time, you're either gaining weight, muscle and fat, or you're losing fat and holding on to your muscle. So that's just kind of the nature of it. So if you want to grow, I mean, keep working out hard. Of course, you always should. There's no reason not to. But you have to prioritize the things outside of the gym which are going to give you the results that you want. And that's where, for some people, it kind of sucks because, I mean, you can have a real itch to make some serious gains, to really kind of put yourself in a position of growth for the next, just fucking years. But if you're not really, I don't even want to say willing, but it's like, if actually really getting into tracking your calories and fucking around with your diet and like eating specific ways is something that you're just not really interested in doing, then I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. But you are limiting your ability to make long-term gains. So I'm not when I say this, I'm definitely not saying, okay, everybody should be a fucking, diehard bodybuilder, 30 minutes cardio every morning. I am saying that everybody should do 30 minutes of cardio, but I'm not saying everybody. Oh, you need to track every gram of every calorie that you eat every day, and eat a certain way, and like train every. That's not what I'm saying, right? That's that does not really match with everybody's fucking lifestyle, obviously. What I am saying though is if that's you, if you want more gains, if somebody wants to make serious progress, they see where they are now physically and they say, okay, I want more. I want to be bigger. I want to be stronger. I want to be more fucking athletic, everything else. Then there are clear-cut ways to go about doing that. So that's what I'm trying to say here. It's not like I'm saying you're wrong for not tracking all your calories and eating a certain way and everything else. But if you want more serious gains, then that's what you have to do to get there. And it's I can write it down on fucking paper really simply. Eat in a calorie surplus, eat a gram of protein per however many pounds you weigh, lean, and then train your ass off. You'll probably grow muscle. And I mean probably like 99% of the time you'll grow muscle if you do that. The only tricky part is it's just hard to do. It's not a Jesus Christ, man, you can let me merge or what? It's not complicated. Oh, no. What am I trying to say here? It's not easy. Yeah, there we go. It's not easy, but it is simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. I think that's my finishing note there. So, plan now is go home, shower off. I don't stink, but I'm fucking drenched in sweat. And then keep chowing down a little bit more, even a little bit more than that. Get a nasty ass night's rest and get ready for a fucking, what's a good word? An awesome forearm day tomorrow. No more back. So if you're a diehard Sam training his back fan, I'm sorry to deprive you, but I gotta back off. I gotta back off on the back training for a little bit. I need the arms and my chest to match it. Because when I do a lat spread, especially a back lat spread, it's pretty good. When I do a side chest, relative to my back lat spread, I say, chest needs a little more work. I want the chest to come up. I want to be working on that proportionality here. So back will return, of course. It's not gone forever. Just on a minor hiatus. Just a momentary hiatus for the semi-foreseeable future. But ending note, go hard, sleep hard, drink hard, water and electrolytes, I'm talking. Throw some weight around. Can't really ask for anything else. So I'll see you tomorrow for forearms and probably something extra too, because that's kind of there's not much to be seen. It's only like 10 sets of this and 10 sets of this. Nothing too wild. But I guess we'll see you tomorrow. So I'll see you then.